Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Hubbard Arena on the campus of Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. Our final game of the 2025 calendar here this afternoon as the Fighting Engineers looking to come back after their loss to DePaul, in which they shot 56% in that win over Rose-Hulman. The Fighting Engineers at 6-4. They'll take on the Comets of the University of Olivet. They come in at 2-6, losers of their last 5. Today's game brought to you in part by Reynolds Farm Equipment, your local hometown John Deere dealer since 1955 with 5 central Indiana locations. Reynolds meets all your equipment, parts, and service needs. Boilermaker Local 374, representing skilled workers across Indiana. Discover the Boilermaker advantage with Local 374. Burtner Electric, spark with confidence, your trusted electrician partners since 1986. Wheeler Mission, helping our neighbors in need since 1893, thanks to generous, caring individuals like you. Morales Group Staffing, building better futures one story at a time. Let us help you find your next opportunity. LifeWise Academy. LifeWise Academy brings Bible education to public school students during school hours. Learn more at lifewise.org. LIUNA, the Build America Union, 500,000 strong and fighting for better wages, safer job sites, and greater opportunities. And the IndianaSRN sports page, from the court to the field. IndianaSRN brings it home with daily information from coast to coast and border to border. Troy Dergowski, Chris Schumerth with you here this afternoon. Chris, I'll tell you what, we're excited to get this one underway here in a few moments. We want to let everybody know early, though, this Rose-Hulman team will be a little short-handed without 2 starters, and that could be a big difference in today's game.
Yeah, Cole Pride was a starter as a freshman. He came off the bench mostly last year, and then he's done a nice job this season filling in for the departed Miles McGowan. And so he's a big guy, won't be on the floor today, and they'll also be without a point guard. Yeah.
Studemeyer will not play today either. Both Kobe and Cole suffered ankle injuries in that loss to DePaul, 78-66. So they will not play today. The good news is for Rose-Hulman, they'll have to wait a little bit until the beginning of the year to get back into the starting lineup, so time to heal before their next game. This is a University of Olivet team. We mentioned they've lost 5 straight. They lose to Carthage in their last game. They shot just 44% in that loss. But when you look at this team, they got size. They got guys that are legit 6'8", guys that are legit 6'9". No doubt about it, they're going to come in here wanting to get a win before the Christmas break.
Well, and they've got a coach who's been around for a long time. He's coached as far as the Elite 8 in Division III basketball. So I expect both teams to be, kind of similar in that they'll both be very, very disciplined teams. This Olivet team coming in, they've got Nate Richardson and Connor Shipper, both all-conference performers a year ago. Interesting to note, Nate Richardson, the guard, a little bit less likely than Connor Shipper, the center, to shoot the 3 ball.
Yeah. Well, nowadays, I don't surprise anybody shoots a 3, are you?
No, but it is a little bit surprising when you see a guard who doesn't shoot it that well.
Yeah.
Or doesn't shoot it that often, maybe. He shoots over 50% from the field in general, and so you feel pretty good about his ability to create offense, but it's just not from the three-point line necessarily.
They're about, I would say, an average shooting team at 45% coming into this one here today. Defensively, they give up about 77 points. And like Rose-Hulman, they played a pretty decent schedule early as they continue to prepare for their conference season.
They do. And, Troy, by the way, you tried to sneak by us. This is your 3,700th play-by-play, I believe. So congratulations on that.
Thank
Don't
you.
want to not mention that today on the broadcast.
Because I'm old. That's what I always – when I used to talk with guys –
Seasoned.
Yeah, they used to say I'm just old, but I appreciate that very much. Thank you. And it's a pleasure to be with you as well. We'll come back, talk more about Rose-Hulman as they try to come back from that loss against DePaul. We'll do that next right here on IndianaSRN and RHIT.TV.
Rose allowed me to have a good foundation as an engineer. Like, you enjoy solving those problems. There are 500 different directions that we could go, and only one is likely the right one that's going to work. Figuring out why it works or why it could work, what could break, like really thinking 5 steps ahead. That's what Rose teaches you to do. It's not a factory of like just trying to get people out the door and getting them their degrees. Like, they genuinely care about each individual student. They want you to walk away feeling like you got out of it what you wanted. That's what sets Rose Holman apart. Together, we are Rose Holman.
Back here at Rose Holman as we prepare for this non-conference matchup. We mentioned a little bit ago this Fighting Engineers basketball team, they played a good schedule too. We talked about Olivet a little bit ago, and there's no doubt that Rose Holman has played their share of good basketball teams. They played, I thought, relatively well early against DePaul, and then DePaul just kind of imposed their will on them in that basketball game. Your thoughts on what you see in Rose Holman? Again, without Studemeyer today, without Cole Pride, they're going to have to go to their bench, which isn't really that deep as it is anyway because they've used a lot of young guys coming off that bench. So how do they prepare today without 2 starters?
Well, one thing to your point about the competition, one of the ways that we know that's true is that Rose Holman has started their conference season, whereas Olivet hasn't, and Rose Holman is winning their conference games. They're 4-0, and that's a conference that with Anderson in particular, but some of the other competitors in the conference that has been strong recently. So you feel good about where you're at as if you're Rose Holman. In terms of getting things going without Pride and without Stoudemire, it has to start with Joey Schmidt. He broke the school's record for made three-pointers as a freshman, Center Grove product. But also another kid to watch is Savovich. Last year I saw him take over a game in the conference tournament, and this year he has not been shooting the ball well from the three-point line, only 19%, I believe. Last year he was up closer to 37%, so not sure what's going on there. Eventually a shooter's going to keep shooting, and they're going to start making it, so it'll be interesting to see if today is the kind of day for Savovich to come out a little bit of that slump.
You know, you mentioned Joey Schmitz, too. He's now had 3 games in which he scored single figures, including the 9 against DePaul. I'm pretty sure they're going to have him step up big today. Christian Torres is another one who had 10 against DePaul, but he got into foul trouble a little bit, kept him on the bench. So those are 2 other guys that'll have to step up. But they have guys coming off the bench, Evan Gentile and Will McElhaney, 2 young guys who have provided them that kind of spark they need that they really haven't had in the last couple of years, scoring-wise, off their bench.
Well, and to your point about Schmitz especially, everyone they play knows that they've got a key on him, kind of number one defensively. And so that is going to open up shots from other people. This team only shoots the ball from 3 at a 31% clip. That is one of the weaknesses that you see on this team. They will be disciplined. They will play good basketball. They will play hard, but can they make enough three-pointers offensively? And if you're a team like Olivet who's looking for a win going into the break, that's one of the ways that you might try to steal one.
You know, rebounding I think will be a big key today. I know Cole Pride wasn't 6'9", wasn't that gigantic rebounding type player, but he'll get you about 6 per game. But I would think with the amount of size you have today with Olivet coming in, boy, rebounding could be perhaps the biggest key of the entire day.
Yeah, and I did hear from Olivet coach Sam Hargraves this week, and that's one of the things he said, quote, we use our size on both ends of the floor as much as we can. That's where our strengths lie, end quote. So he feels like that could be an advantage for them going into this one as well.
Yeah, you talked about Connor Skipper a little bit earlier. The guy's 6'10", and by the way, if you go down on the floor and you stand next to him, he's a legit 6'10". I went down a little bit ago, and you can kind of tell they aren't fudging their heights at all.
You could probably still guard him, though, in there.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, especially out on the perimeter, my quickness. I know you could, too. Don't sell yourself short. By the way, if you don't know, The gentleman to my right is a big Notre Dame fan. We're going to get into that a little bit, so I'm sure sometime. You don't mind, do you, during the broadcast?
Well, you're trying to get me flustered before the game even starts.
It's a test to see how you do, okay? All right, tell you what, we're going to come back in a little bit. We'll give you the latest HCAC report. The update on the standings is right around the corner. We'll do that next right here on RHIT.TV.
At Rose-Hulman, our goal is to give our students the world's best STEM education in an environment of individual attention and support, all while achieving over 98% job placement after graduation. Your first year at Rose is all about building community. During your time at Rose, you'll be collaborating with other students in a diverse array of clubs, intramurals, and out in the community. You might be in the 40% of students that play a sport, or the third that are involved in fraternities and sororities. Over 90% of all Rose-Hulman students have at least one internship, co-op or research opportunity, or study abroad by the start of their senior year. Your degree in STEM means you won't be stuck on one path, though. STEM is all about creative problem solving, and Rose-Hulman is a place where creative minds thrive. The skills you learn here will help you reach your career goals and will grow with you as a person for the rest of your life.
Coming up in a couple of moments, we'll have the starters and the tip-off. It is right around the corner. The latest standings in the HCAC going, in fact, no conference games until we get back from the Christmas break. So heading into the break, Rose-Hulman, the only undefeated team in the conference at 4-0. Hanover and Transylvania, both teams are at 3-1. And Franklin, Anderson, and Mount St. Joe, along with Manchester, all at 2-2. When the tournament rolls around, the top 8 teams will make it. Right now, Berea and Bluffton are both 1-3. Earlham is 0-4. Overall, the top 4 teams are the only teams that have a winning record. That includes Rose-Hulman, Hanover, Transylvania, and Franklin. And Chris, I don't think there's any doubt about it. This thing's going to come down to the wire, who's going to get in and who's going to be home at the end of the year.
Yeah, and this Rose-Hulman team was picked to finish second. Right now they are at the top. And an important thing to note here, too, both these teams get some time off after this one. Rose-Hulman in particular doesn't play again until January 3rd, so just the importance of feeling like, okay, we finished the first half of our season, even if it isn't exactly that, it feels that, on a win.
We're going to come back in a couple of moments. We'll have the starting lineups right around the corner. We'll see what Rose-Hulman will do without Studemeyer and Pride in that starting lineup. That is coming up, the tip-off right around the corner, and Chris will have keys to the game as well. It's all coming up right here on RHIT.TV.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to Rose-Hulman. Great to have you with us. Our final game of the calendar. Let's go to our public address announcer for today's starting lineups.
Number 11, Sean Schenker. Number 12, Porter Freshman. Number 23, Nathan Richardson. Number 40, Lee Hardy. And number 50, Connor Schubert. The team is led by head coach Sam Hargraves and assistant coaches Chad Lovelace, Brian Snyder, Ryan Franklin, and Cortez Williams. And now, fans, let's meet the starters for your Rose Hall Fighting Engineers. At forward, the 6'6" junior from Moulin, Georgia, number 11, Christian Torres. At guard, the 6'2" sophomore from Barbersville, Indiana, number 15, Joey Schmidt. At guard, the 6-foot freshman from McKinney, Texas, number 20, Jackson Kolchaka. At guard, the 5'11" freshman from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 21, Nate Smith. And the 6'5" senior, forward from Westport, Connecticut, number 34, Jack Murphy. The team is led by head coach Nick Sales and assistant coaches Tyler Hayman, Miles McGowan, and Braxton Bowles.
All right, there are your starters. In fact, even Daniel Savovich not starting today, so really kind of a twist in the starting lineup.
Yeah, let's watch, keep an eye on Nate Smith's production, a freshman from Cardinal Ritter. That one will be interesting to see. You talked about keys to the game. If you want to get into that real quick, I think we've already kind of mentioned it. But Olivet feels like their strength is size, and Rose-Hulman is a team that will be a little bit deficient in that area today. So can Olivet punish Rose-Hulman with their size? And then on Rose-Hulman's side, can you get someone going offensively besides Schmitz? That's the question.
Olivet wins the tip. We are underway. Great to have you with us here on RHIT.TV. Rose-Hulman is predominantly man-to-man. Spin down the lane and a traveling call as skipper. The first turnover by the University of Olivet.
But you see right away that they're going to want to attack down low.
I will be curious to see how number 20 Jackson Kachalka plays here today. His first start for Rose-Hulman. Just a freshman out of McKinney, Texas. It does give them an opportunity to get some scoring off the bench with McElhaney coming off the bench now. Kachalka with the three is short. Rebound by Murphy. And the shot clock ran up, but it did hit the rim, so that should not stop play. Turnaround jumper, no good by Torres. And the rebound ripped down by Hardy. Olivet basketball for the second time. Mentioned earlier, the average around 73 per game. Good look here at Hardy. Hardy backing his man down. Jump hook good, and we're on the board.
2 trips offensively for Olivet and 2 isolations in the post.
That Olivet zone trap there, pretty much just to slow Rose-Hulman down, and it's a good strategy to run off some time off that shot clock.
It also can tire the guards out.
Torres, long, ball goes out of bounds, last touch by Murphy, back over and out to Olivet.
Yeah, the Comets showing early on defense they're going to press. It is a light press, to your point, but then they're going to drop back into a 2-3 zone. Be interesting to see if they stick in that the whole way.
If you're just joining us again, Cole Pride as well as Kobe Studemeyer not playing today because of injuries they sustained against DePaul. The entry pass out of the reach of Hardy, second turnover. Chalka with the basketball will find Torres. The kick out, Schmitz for 3, missed it. And the rebound by Hardy. Well, right now, Rose-Hulman cold early. Might take a little time for some of these guys. I would venture haven't played together in a starting lineup yet. The left-hand shot no good as Skipper can't get it to go. It goes out of bounds, back over to Rose. when you haven't played together in a while, or you haven't had that chemistry, even in a starting lineup situation, it might take a few trips down the floor.
Yeah, the guys they're missing, they aren't just, productive. They're also leader-type players.
Chalka with the basketball. That's a guy right there they need to get going. That's Schmitz. Torres, undersized in this game. A Schmitz pull-up shot, high arcer, good.
If you watch the way Olivet is guarding, with the exception of Schmitz, they're almost conceding the jump shot.
So we're tied at 2, almost 3 minutes into this one. Skip pass in the corner, 3 is on the way, and that's an air ball. Offensive rebound, another 3 is no good.
We said he would shoot it, and there's his first one.
Richardson and Skipper both missing 3s. Torres, baseline here to Schmitz, and he'll bring it back outside now to Nate Smith. High screen Torres. Smith dumps it down to Murphy. Murphy over the basket. Lead pass the other way to Richardson. Saves it in the corner. It goes out of bounds. These guys are shooting like Keith Myers shot in his day.
You can't do that to him. He's going to fire you.
Yeah, but he did promise big bonuses for you and me for working
You
today.
won't have a 37-01 first game.
Yeah, but you won't mind when you see that bonus, I guarantee it. Spinning to
I
the
think we get
baseline.
triple time pay, right?
Yeah, that's right. Okello is checked in now for Olivet. Jump hook in the lane again by Lee Hardy. He has 4.
Talked about the size of Skipper at 6'10". Lee Hardy is listed at 6'7", but also very, very strong, showing that he's going to be a force in this game.
Yeah, those guys are big bodies. That's certainly makes a difference. Here's Torres. He will find Schmitz wide open, short. Rebound Torres, slapped out of his hand, picked up by Murphy.
Oh, good pass.
Yeah, that's Torres, and he got it to go.
Just a missed assignment defensively, a miscommunication, wide open for a layup.
Tied at 4. Schenker with the basketball, working it out front against Kachalka. This shot is another air ball the other way by Evan Hannon. And I'll tell you what, we're only 5 minutes in, and I haven't seen that many air balls in a long time. We got a TV timeout, 15-19 to go first half. We're tied at 4.
Nanotechnology is in so many different facets of our lives that we don't even realize. So the easy thing is smartphones, nanoscale chips that are in the smartphones. Something else you don't think about are the sensors in all of our cameras. Those sensors that give us the pretty pictures are made by nano engineers. Glitter, it's everywhere, right? Parents' worst nightmare. It's actually a highly designed structure of thin films that they create to have a certain effect. And so that's why you have a single colored glitter, you have a color shift glitter. That's nano engineering.
College basketball on RHIT.TV, brought to you in part by Reynolds Farm Equipment, the leading equipment dealer serving farmers, homeowners, landscapers, and commercial contractors in Indiana. Give them a call, 317-849-0810. And by Beatty Insurance, a company which understands your industry and what's on the line for you. Give Lance a call at 812-522-5640. I would venture to say that maybe the focus isn't quite there early, especially in the shooting department, because we have seen a rough start.
Well, this is a tough matchup. We thought so before the game, but now while watching, with Rose-Hulman, who they have available today, this is going to be a tough game for them to try to grind out a win.
Connor Skipper down low, getting his first 2. The 6'10 junior, averaging 10 points per game, will give Olivet a 2-point lead. Evan Gentili is now checked into the ball game, as has number 1, B.J. Wesley. Wesley doesn't see a whole lot of time, but he may today without Studemeyer. That is Wesley. Pull-up shot in the lane, off the glass, no. Battle for the rebound, and coming away with it as Will McElhaney has it taken away. He is checked in as well.
That rebound by Mike Okello. He's not small either.
Take one big out, put another big in. That's a 3 on the way, no good. Offensive rebound. And another 3 is going to be missed. As they're shooting up threes left and right here today. We are now 6 minutes in and a combined 10 points between these two teams. Torres off the front of the rim on that shot by Gentile. I know you have live stats like the fans at home can check it out as well on the Rose-Hulman Sports website, but it's got to be really low on both sides. Good look at Okello. Okello dumps it inside, then it's knocked out of bounds. Good defense here by Schmitz.
Both teams are 0 for 4 from the three-point line. To your point.
Porter Kretschmann coming back in for Olivet. We'll also see Nate Smith coming in.
Not just the three-point line, by the way. Olivet shooting 33% and Rose-Hulman 20% from the field.
Stripped from behind and saved from going out of bounds by Gentile. Turnover again by Olivet. The skip. Gentile for 3. No. And it's getting worse. Comets on the run. They have numbers back the other way. Setting, shooting, and missing once again. As Olivet, Sam Howard, the 6'3 sophomore, unable to connect. McElhaney reverses it. Schmitz driving baseline, gets cut off. They'll work it back to Gentile for 3. This time he'll get it.
Needed that one. I would have liked to have seen Schmitz launch, but I think he was a little intimidated by Okello being in front of him. He's got to know today that he's even more so than usual. He's got to be set and ready to shoot it every time he touches it.
7-6. Rose-Hulman now leading it by 1. That is Nate Richardson. They'll go big inside, and anytime Skipper gets it, he's ready to shoot. He misses that one. After the rebound by Torres, Rose-Hulman will set it up here to Nate Smith. McElhaney with the basketball. Skip past Gentile inside to Torres. Torres gets rid of it in the corner. Schmitz driving. Floater is good. Schmitz now has 4.
If anything, he's getting less attention than I would have expected, given his level of production versus some of these other guys who are, not even used to being on the floor this much. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments Olivet makes to pay a little bit more attention to Schmitz.
14 on the shot clock. The big fella driving in. That's going to be an offensive foul on Connor Skipper. Lowered that shoulder, and Torres, I think he felt that one. We've got a TV timeout, 11:43 to go. First half, 9-6, Rose-Hulman.
IndianaSRN wants to put more kids on TV. And honestly, that's exactly what these kids deserve. They stream more than 350 high school and college games every year, giving Indiana athletes the spotlight they've earned. All games are free to watch with on-demand on their YouTube channel. The cost is amazingly affordable, which means more kids get their moment to shine. IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
At Riskwork, we're Team Indiana through and through. From coaching youth basketball to protecting critical infrastructure. Like our partners at IndianaSRN, we invest in people first. That same grit and leadership on the court drives our work in cybersecurity. We help businesses stay secure, resilient, and ready with no guesswork. If you can trust us to protect the grid, you can surely trust us to protect your Indiana business.
Today's game brought to you in part by Boilermaker Local 374. They represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction and metal fabrication in Indiana. Whether it's a new build, upgrade, or facility maintenance, you can count on Local 374 to get the job done right the first time. All right, both teams are not shooting well. I think they'll all settle in as, by the way, Daniel Savovich has now checked into the lineup for Rose-Hulman. I would venture as much basketball as we played over the years that, again, once you get into the feel of the game, maybe things will start rolling a little bit, or maybe some of these guys are ready for Christmas break and you can kind of tell, huh?
That may be the case, and be interesting to know what their schedule is for the next week and a half. If it's all off, maybe they do have their eyes toward that.
Nate Smith on the board. He averages 4. He gets his first 2. And Rose-Hulman, their biggest lead now at 5. Schenker back in the ball game now for Olivet. Spinning baseline. Nothing there for Kretschmann. Shot missed. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touched by Okello.
I do think this is the perfect game for Savovich to get something going. If it's not him besides Schmitz, I'm not sure who it is for Rose-Hulman.
Yeah, I think his confidence has picked up over the last few games. Gentile has his shot blocked. They'll get it back. Good defense that time by Trey Kolkolovich. The drive down the lane, and I believe we have a moving screen against Rose-Hulman. That'll be a turnover for the Fighting Engineers.
Yeah, the planned screen on the ball was legal and necessary. The one off the ball, you're going to get caught for that most of the time.
Will McElhaney picks up the foul. By the way, his dad came up, gave us an interesting tidbit about Will's mother. She takes pictures in the game as Hardy backing his man down, and under the basket good. Hardy has 6.
If I'm Olivet, I don't know why we're not doing that every trip.
Yeah, they ought to be inside a lot more. Anyway, Will's mom, he said that they have her down taking pictures so she'll stay quiet. She doesn't talk as much.
She doesn't yell at the refs as much?
Yeah, she can't do that down there. Drive by Savovich, blocked inside. McElhaney in the corner. Gentile for 3.
Isn't that why you started broadcasting, actually? You kept getting kicked out of games? They're like, we just give them a microphone.
Yeah, and then get it for free, too. 14-8. Good look here at Richardson. He is yet to score. Hardy looking to back his man down again. Well, that's a big body right there. Fade away, in and out. Hardy can't get it to go over Murphy.
Again, they get what they want there.
McElhaney got his man to go right by him and then missed the shot short. Boy, I'm sure he'd love to have that one back. Comets back the other way. That's short as well, as Kolakovic can't get it to go. Olivet's going to go back to their bench. Not exactly the prettiest shooting first half by either team. Savovich gets the screen from McElhaney, and then that was just a little push, according to Okello.
I thought Savovich was fortunate there that his travel wasn't called before there was any contact at all.
Big fella coming back in once again as Connor Skipper back in, only 2 points here in the first half. He is 6'10", and if you put him in there with Okello, those are 2 very big bodies. It's tough to get inside. Torres, 2 players coming right at him. Savovich from 3 missed it. Long rebound, will head the other way. Lead pass. Skipper will get it to Richardson. His jumper up and good. He's finally on the board.
See a lot of what Richardson brings there. Good pass to start. He's ready to shoot it when he gets it back, little mid-range.
We have a timeout here. I think that we may have an issue with the clock. While they sort that out, we'll remind you today's game is brought to you in part by Piper Logistics. For more than 2 decades, the seasoned professionals at Piper have been the trusted partners for inventory management, warehouse fulfillment, and transportation. Give them a call, 317-396-1023. They put the shot clock back to 24. 14-10 and a turnover. And then it's right back as we have back-to-back turnovers. Layup good by Richardson. I think that Gentile caught one in the face once he paused to regain his composure. They gave up the basketball in the easy two.
Yeah, I think Richardson noticed that he was hurt and paying attention to something else too. He strategically gets in there for the steal and the layup.
Now, generally for an official, there's not much you can do in that situation. You got to let it play out, and when you give up the basketball like that, I don't know, some fans are hoping maybe you'd stop play, but you really can't. Savovich, the strong drive and the layup.
And if I'm struggling with my shooting like Savovich is, that's how you get it going, is let's get some very high percentage shots, just start feeling good about yourself.
Skipper backing his man down, draws the double team, kicks it now to Richardson. Bucket good three-pointer by Richardson. All of a sudden he has 7.
Last year, Rose-Hulman had a guy named Benny Smith who was young from Ritter, and he did quite a bit of kind of alleviating that shooting burden. He could really help Schmitz, and then Savovich is kind of a third guy. This year they're probably missing that third shooter.
Nate Smith now with 4. Nice pass inside. They went high-low, and the big fellow Okello gets his first 2. Between the two, the average nearly 16 per game. Lead back to 1. Coming up on 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Wide open, Schmitz off the back of the iron. Rebound by Kolakovic, and we'll head the other way.
Again, surprised that Schmitz even gets that good of a look.
Trying to look inside. They're going to go high-low again if they possibly can. Kolakovic on the drive. The kick to the big fellow Skipper for 3, and there he is. 39% from three-point range at 6'10", one of those stretch 5 type players.
And that's impossible to guard. If you've got a guy that's that big who's initiating the action with the screen, what are you going to give up? The 10-footer in the lane or the three-pointer on the roll?
Savovich misses the 3. Might have seen Skipper coming at him. Rose-Hulman able to get it back, and a fresh 20 on the shot clock. Murphy trying to post up Skipper down low. 7 on the shot clock. Shot on the way, good. Joey Schmitz has 6.
I like the aggressiveness there. That's not an automatic shot by any means, but I want him to be aggressive in this particular game.
Coming close to another TV timeout. Baseline shot, no good by Skipper. And we'll come the other way here as the Fighting Engineers try to take the lead. 4 new players will be coming in for Olivet. We'll see Kachalka come back in as well, and a foul call, and that'll put Torres at the line. Today's game brought to you by Dynamark Graphics Group. Make sure you choose Dynamark, your local one-stop shop for print, signs, promo products, and more. Give them a call, 317-328-2555.
Munster, who was both the athletic director and the basketball coach at the time, wrote me a letter. Said, we're interested in you coming to the school. And so I went over and visited in January or February of 1977 and kind of fell in love with the school. And I felt like if I can get a degree here, I'm going to get a job, and that mattered a lot to me. Hi, I'm Steve Hill, CEO and president of the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. I get to work with an amazing team to promote Las Vegas as the #1 tourist destination and the go-to place for conventions, sports, and entertainment. We've helped expand the convention center, launch the Vegas Loop, and bring big events like the Super Bowl, Formula One, and WrestleMania to town. As chairman of the Stadium Authority, I also help oversee Allegiant Stadium, home of the Las Vegas Raiders, and the future A's ballpark.
College basketball on RHIT.TV, brought to you by Risk Work. We make people feel safe. We protect your business so you live safe, and we've got you covered. Risk Work, 317-379-6755. 5:31 to go here in the first half as Christian Torres will go to the line.
And these are the first free throws of the game. We're now at 25% three-point percentage for Olivet and 18 for Rose-Hulman.
I don't even need to comment on that, do I? I like the idea that we haven't been to the free throw line till now, though. Makes it a quick first half. Olivet made some wholesale changes. We mentioned they bring 4 new players in. Torres gets number 2. Of course, with it being a afternoon game, a sparse crowd here this afternoon. Schenker kicks outside. Here is a 3 on the way. Good left-handed shot by Howard. Back to a 1-point lead. Press put on now by Olivet. They'll try to get the tempo picked up a little bit. We have a foul call on the pass as Schmitz goes to the floor. I always get a kick when I see a coach, Sam Hargraves, getting on with his players. I mean, we all know, listen, if you're going to play at one end, you better play at the other end too, defensively. I never screamed at my players about that. I mean, we do play both ends, right?
Michael Jordan did say, I believe, that he got his rest on defense. But he was a good defensive player.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta know when to breathe.
Exactly.
It's not getting back at the start of the play.
The kick out to Smith. 3-pointer good. And I'll tell you what, Nate Smith with 7. He is playing well.
Good place for them to get it, too.
Back to a 2-point lead. Skipper kicks it. 3 the other way is good by Schenker. His first 3.
And we did see Smith dive down there to help, which leads to the 3-point look. Be interesting to see if that's a defensive strategy that Rose-Hulman uses much the rest of the way.
Torres on the drive and a late whistle foul against the Comets.
To go back to that play, I am a little bit surprised they haven't done more of that, diving down on those post players when they're in one-on-one situations, because Olivet isn't shooting the ball particularly well, although on that play they did make him pay.
See the play right there by Torres that will send him to the line, and we mentioned the foul on Kretschmann. That'll be his first. Torres had kind of some bad luck 2 games ago, and he ended up at one point getting 2 quick fouls, and he had a lane violation all in succession, and he kind of felt bad for him. It didn't seem like things were going his way at that point. And again, with 2 starters out today, they'll need his offense. He gets 1 of 2. And we're tied at 26. Olivet, they can go big again inside. Hardy gets fouled out on the perimeter. Looks like it'll be Nate Smith.
Smith again kind of aggressively coming over to double. The ref had a better look than we did, but I thought it was good help.
The lob underneath, it goes out of bounds, last touched by Schmitz. Porter Kretschmann, 6'5" sophomore, trying to use his size against Schmitz. Big body down low again, rolling off the front of the rim is Hardy. Torres back the other way. Torres down a number, stripped out of his hands from behind. Schenker gets the takeaway. Under 4 minutes remaining. Olivet a chance now to regain the lead. Here's Hardy. Nice pass. Opposite side. Hardy misses it. Well, Kello wants the ball back. He gets a chance for an assist at the other end and a foul call. And that'll go against Lee Hardy.
That's a tough one for Hardy. He may have brought his hand down too much.
Timeout on the floor. 3:35 to go first half. We're tied at 26.
Your kid's Friday night touchdown. Just with HD on Roku. IndianaSRN is bringing Central Indiana high school sports right to your living room in crystal clear quality. With over 350 live contests streaming each year, from football under the lights to basketball buzzer beaters, we're putting local athletes in the spotlight. Search IndianaSRN on your Roku device today and never miss a moment of hometown glory.
Countdown. 3, 2, 1.
College basketball on RHIT.TV, brought to you in part by Labor's International Union of North America, the Build America Union, 500,000 strong, fighting for better wages and benefits, safer job sites, and greater opportunities. We are La Una. Low-scoring first half, and I think that's kind of evident when you're shooting as poorly as both teams are right now. So far, Olivet has not been to the free throw line. This will be number 5 and 6 for Rose-Hulman.
Both teams are creeping upward in terms of field goal percentage. So Olivet's now at 44 and Rose-Hulman's at 40. They're still both struggling from the three-point line.
You know, it's unusual again for Rose-Hulman. They shot 37% in their last game against DePaul. They really got off to a good start this year in the shooting department, and the other area they really have been big in is points in the paint. But they didn't do that well in their game against DePaul, and there's a takeaway. Smith, back the other way, layup good. Nate Smith getting the start today and really proving his value. 29-26. Olivet basketball.
To your point about his value, 3 for 3, Smith from the field. He's also got 3 assists.
Well, that one just makes it. Skipper now has 7. That one rolled around the rim and went down for the big 6'10 center. Under 3 minutes. High-low to Murphy. And Murphy missed it with the left hand. McElhaney read that one well. So now the Comets a chance to take the lead. A deep 3 is good. How about Shanker? Coming off 14 against Carthage. 31-29 Olivet. That's Murphy. Lost the handle. McElhaney able to pick it up. In the corner, Gentile. His 3 is good. Now they're starting to do it. Like you mentioned, it's a little bit of an upswing. Two minutes to go here in the first half. The lob down low, the double team knocked it out of bounds. Pass intended there for Skipper. Howard coming out. Shanker coming out after just hitting that 3. They try to keep some fresh bodies in the lineup as Kretschmann is back in. They had a Skipper against Murphy. Now we'll find Richardson, 9 on the shot clock. Richardson loses his balance, able to get it underneath, and missing it is Kretschmann. Rose-Hulman a chance to build on the 1-point lead. That shot no good, Gentile. Put back, no, by Schmitz. Here's Gentile, fresh 20 on the shot clock. McElhaney outsized in the post. Nice move to the baseline, and will get a body foul against Connor Skipper. I have him for 2, and that'll put McElhaney at the line. One thing that Will's dad said that his son is not shooting at the free throw line as well as he did when he was in high school. He's at 59%. He was generally an 80% shooter in high school. But he does get the first of 2 there. It'll be a timeout by Olivet. We'll have your halftime stats coming up. Chris will run down all the big numbers in the first half as well. Again, with this being our final game of the 2025 calendar, you want to make sure that you tune into RHIT.TV and IndianaSRN of the games that are coming up in the HCAC. And we'll also keep you updated every week on the sports page, as Coach Myers will give us a roundup every weekend. And that month of January will be busy, because you get into January and you're playing conference games just back to back to back to back, and that conference season will go very quickly.
Rose-Hulman is getting some scoring. They needed to get some scoring from some unorthodox players today, and they are getting it from Gentile. He's got 10, and Smith has 9. Smith's only scored 37 on the year, and he's about to be in double digits by halftime.
Good news for Will McElhaney. Hits both free throws. It's a 3-point lead. Comets basketball as we're nearing the end of the first half. Richardson. Now it'll go down low to Okello. Okello stripped away, and they're going to get a foul here. I believe that will be Joey Schmitz. So I guess the key is anytime those bigs get the ball, you're going to drop a guard down and try to at least force the pass back outside.
That's how I would do until they show from the three-point line that they're dangerous enough.
Richardson thought about it. Here's another high-low. That big body down low is tough to stop, as Okello has 4. He is 6'8", but again, very strong upper body. Lead back to 1, under a minute remaining. Gentile will find Schmidt straight away. Bypasses the screen. Fadeaway is up, in, and out. Richardson with a rebound. About 6 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. Might have been a quick trigger that time by Okello. They want to perhaps get the ball back here if they can. Richardson playing out front along with Kolakovic. And Rose-Hulman will call a timeout right here. We'll wait and see. It'll be a 30-second timeout. So they want to set something up. First off, number 1, get a good look. Number 2, don't give the Comets a chance to get the ball back and perhaps put points on the board before halftime.
Yeah, you definitely want to get the last shot here. And in a one-point game, that you kind of expect to be a 1 or 2 possession game, maybe the rest of the way even, you definitely, this is a big swing here if you can score this basket going into halftime and feel good about what you're doing.
Well, you can really tell. A little bit ago we talked about how it was kind of a low-scoring first half, and as you said, is the live stats right in front of you. You can see those numbers picking up shooting-wise, so both teams, again, got off to a slow start, but are really picking it up here as we get very close to halftime.
I think a lot of that's just taking better shots. Although, you just commented on the quick 3 from Okello. I was just looking. He's taken 4 threes on the season. He's made 1. So now he's 1 for 5. But, yeah, a little bit of a quick shot there, especially given the situation.
Yeah, I would imagine if you asked Coach Hargraves, do you want him to take that shot? I bet it's a definite no. Spread the floor. Here's Schmitz. Schmitz driving, lost it out of bounds, and a turnover with 3.3 to go.
And gestures, he thought he was pushed. I don't know that I saw much that would warrant contact or a foul call anyway.
B.J. Wesley coming back in. Chalka coming back in as well, as right now you see big number 13, Okello, going out. Everybody making changes here. Looks like Shanker is back in, trying to at least get another shooter on the floor here for the Comets. So they're going to have to work quick from half court. On the way, and it is good off the glass. That's why you bring in Sean Shanker. He hits a 3 from mid-court. How about that shot? Wow. Not a bad way to finish, huh?
You got to feel great about where you're at if you're Olivet.
I mean, that was a legit half-court 3 for Shanker. to finish out the first half. You know, a lot of times people give up on, now take another look at it. And that's just a great shot. I was about ready to say a lot of teams give up on 3 seconds, what can we do? Well, that's why they brought him back in, because they probably have seen him do that before.
Have you seen in the NBA there are people who are documenting like who will actually take that shot versus who won't, because like shooting percentages, some players don't even want, what they'll do is sort of like intentionally let the buzzer go and then they'll chuck it, you know.
Don't want their percentages to go down. Exactly. Is that what it is?
Yes.
We're at halftime. When we come back in a couple of moments, you get another look at the three to end the first half. Chris will have the first half numbers in just a few moments right here on RHIT.TV.
When I was growing up, I had pretty good math skills, and I had a high interest in science. My mother's father was an engineer. Although I never really knew him, I knew of him. So the option of being an engineer was always exciting to me. And as I progressed through high school, one of the things that really stuck out to me, our football training room in high school had a Rose-Hulman football poster. As I got closer to making a decision, I learned a lot about Rose, and the appealing thing to me was that it was going to be a small setting. I would maybe have an opportunity to play football, which I knew I wasn't going to be a professional football player, but the team association, the friendships, the camaraderie had always been important to me.
My first role model was definitely my dad, because he was an engineering major.
My mother's in this field, so it kind of got me interested in it.
The fun is actually learning it, getting through all these experiences, having to go around so that you can celebrate things for it. That makes it very different.
You know, this school changed my life.
Here tonight, I would remind you that the Stone Age did not end because of a lack of stones. Every major advance in civilization is a result of innovation.
So Rose-Hulman coming up on 150 years. The feeling that I have is a sense of privilege to be a part of it.
I like to make things. That's something I really enjoy doing. Creation, problem solving. I tend to have ideas and think, okay, can I make that? And I give it a shot, whether the answer is yes or no.
There's just a lot of people who care a whole lot here on this campus.
I feel immense pride in that community.
The place where students, staff, and faculty have the opportunity to look into the future and see themselves.
Engineers are not in the business of predicting the future, we're in the business of creating the future.
And want to make it good, want to make it strong, and want to make it just as great as it can be for the next 150 years.
Each of you has an original story. Rose-Hulman has its own story too, in which you play a crucial part. Your time contributed to our 150th year history of innovation, entrepreneurship, and discovery. That has significantly helped us shape the world. Today, our stories continue into the future. And I know you'll all make us proud.
The thought process and the training on how to think about things, I think has been more valuable than the degree in my career. But I really feel like Rose taught me just the structure of how to think well. That structure and that discipline has been something you can apply even when it's not to what is kind of a stereotypical engineering problem. That's been, I feel, a real benefit.
Hey sports fans, are you ready to get even closer to all the action with IndianaSRN? Subscribe now and never miss a moment. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and get instant access to exclusive live streams. Stay updated with real-time scores and breaking news by following us on Twitter, your ultimate source for everything Indiana sports related. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube and smash that follow on Twitter. Join the IndianaSRN family today and take your passion for high school and college sports to the next level.
Independent studies, I came across the IndiDining.com domain name, and so I built kind of this restaurant listing platform that was a kind of Yelp before Yelp was really popular. So after graduation, I continued work on Indie Dining. I ended up meeting a CEO of a company called FormStack, and from that experience, I ended up starting another business. I built out the company, and then we merged companies again with FormStack. And I took some time off after selling that business, and I realized at my core, I just enjoy like tinkering and building things. I started this venture studio where we kind of come up with ideas and we build them out, and then they kind of run with them. I'm behind the scenes, kind of just doing what I really enjoy is building those products.
It's all about bringing people together, and it's all about dogs.
Dog Day in the drive-thru is a day where we give back to our furry friends.
We hand toys out to dogs and their owners in the drive-thru.
My dogs love this event. Tails start wagging, the heads are out the window.
We also partner with local animal shelters to help dogs find their forever home.
Chick-fil-A knows the heart of the community. You meet new friends, you meet new dogs.
We just love seeing their faces in the drive-thru.
Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Back here at Rose-Hulman, 36-34 is your halftime score, and Chris has all the first half statistics for you, just for those that aren't out there next to their computer watching the live stats. Give us a rundown of what you saw in the first half.
Yeah, let's start with scoring, and we'll start with the visitors, Olivet, who have 36 on the scoreboard. Okello with 4, Hardy with 6, Skipper with 7, Richardson with 7, Schenker with 9, Howard with 3. And for Rose-Hulman, Torres with 5, Schmitz with 6, Smith with 9, Gentile with 10, and Savovich with 2, and it's 36-34. Some team stats for you. The field goal percentage, which we talked about, has definitely risen up to more reasonable numbers. 48% for Olivet, 38% for Rose-Hulman. The three-point line, Olivet is almost at 50% at this point, 46%. Most of that was in the last 5 minutes. 28% for Rose-Hulman. The rebounding count, Rose-Hulman is winning there 21-16. 8 of those being on the offensive end. Assists, Olivet has 9 and Rose with 8. Turnovers, both teams have 5 turnovers. Both teams have 3 steals. So a very even game in a lot of different ways here.
Let's talk about what you expect now in the second half. And, of course, the big 3 that ended the first half will give Olivet a little bit of confidence again going into the second half on the road. Rose-Hulman, though, I mean, bottom line, you're again playing without 2 starters here today, and both those guys are such integral parts of what they do both on offense and defense. What do you expect in the second half?
Yeah, for Olivet, I think they showed the formula in the last 5 minutes. They want to play an inside-out game. Early on, they were going to that isolation play where they just dump it down to a big at the block and let them go to work. I think we'll see more of that. But as the half progressed, Rose-Hulman started doubling it. And then once they started kicking it out, they were making the threes late that they weren't making early, and that made a big difference on the scoreboard. For Rose-Hulman, they've gotten some points from Gentile and from Smith, and that was very welcome because, you know, they need to figure out some ways to score today that are a little bit creative. But I still think they need more from Schmitz and from Savovich. Those guys have got to be looking for their own shot.
You know, the one stat, before we take a break, the one stat that really did surprise me a lot was the rebounding numbers. You think about all the size that Olivet has coming in, 6'10", 6'8", 6'8", and then all of a sudden you look at the rebounding numbers and they're actually down by 5.
Yeah, sure. Some of that, though, you could look at the field goal and the three-point percentage to explain some of that. So if you're making shots, you don't need those offensive rebounds. And, again, they weren't necessarily early, but they were late. So something to watch moving forward. Rose-Hulman is a disciplined basketball team, so you can also make up for lack of height by just doing what you're supposed to do, by following your assignments. But, yeah, something to watch in the second half.
All right, we'll come back. Second half getting underway in just moments. Olivet leads it by 2.
Interested in starting business. From the early lemonade stand as a kid to like starting my own software development website business in high school, kind of turned me on to like computers and ultimately engineering. My name's Jeremy Clark. I graduated in 2009 with a software engineering and computer science degree, and currently am CEO of Plainsight Ventures. I was really interested in entrepreneurship, but I took it to the next level. And eventually, I was able to use those relationships with those professors to kind of do a lot of independent studies my last year at Rose. Once you kind of figure out, you know, what you want to do and what you're passionate about, you can kind of chart your own path. And from that experience, I ended up starting another business, and I realized at my core, I just enjoy like tinkering and building things.
I'm Barry Schneider. I'm the President and Chief Operating Officer of Steel Dynamics Incorporated. Steel Dynamics is the largest recycling company in the United States. Faculty here is here to teach. You're not a bother, you're a purpose, but you can't be shy about asking. That's where you figure out I can only be better if I'm willing to accept the help and ask for it. Year in, year out, the caliber of graduates that comes out of Rose-Hulman stands above because this is a challenging environment. But it's a challenging environment that's designed to help us be successful. And that, again, is the small school approach where the faculty is committed to your education. You are the purpose the school's here. Rose-Hulman is and will always be a special place for me because of the people that I've shared the experience of being here with. Together, we are stronger.
Back here on our final broadcast of the calendar year. By the way, we do want to get into something. We got about a minute. Chris is a Notre Dame fan. If you don't know that by one of his comments earlier, they are not in the college football playoff. I'm sure that after watching some of the games over the last couple of days, you're probably a little more upset, aren't you? Or do you kind of, I'll just ask you, how do you feel?
You're trying to bait me, Troy. Trying to make me say something silly, get us in trouble.
Never would I do that.
Here's what I'll say. Yeah, I didn't watch any of the full games last weekend. Call that my little protest. A friend of mine said that he was just going to put Here Come the Irish on repeat, which is a show, like a documentary show on NBC, on repeat to show his support. That I didn't go that far. I think it's a really cool story that Curt Cignetti and Indiana have done what they've done. So as they make their entrance into the playoff, I will certainly be watching them.
Okay. Very good politically correct answer. Good job.
I do my best.
I know you do. we've worked together enough to know that we can joke around. But again, I think that, I don't know if all the teams were in there were the best teams in the country. But I guess from a politically correct standpoint, they got to do it that way. I think you maybe should expand it a little bit if you want to. And
I don't mind the group of 5. The ACC didn't have the right teams in the conference championship. That doesn't help. I don't mind the group of 5 presence in the thing if they're going to be in the same division to play against, teams like the SEC or whatever. You can't pad your schedule throughout the season with these teams and then say, oh, you're not allowed in the playoff, if you earn the right. So I don't know. I'm not that bothered by the fact that James Madison and Tulane were in there.
Okay. Now back to basketball. It'll be Rose-Hulman to begin the second half. Nate Smith nearly losing it. Gets caught in the lane, and he throws it away. It's one thing about it, if you're going to get that deep into the lane, you really got to have somebody come to the basketball, so a turnover there for Rose-Hulman.
Yeah, I don't know that he had much of a plan there with what he was doing. One of the first mistakes that we've seen from Smith, though, in this game, he's 4 for 4 from the field. He has 3 assists. He has a steal. He has 3 rebounds. Smith's been one of the quiet success stories of this game so far for Rose-Hulman.
Well, Nate Richardson at the other end getting the first 2 on the board. He has 9, and an offensive foul there against Jack Murphy.
That's a good call by the official. Murphy was fine, and then he did this little hip check thing at the end that's really pretty easy to spot.
You know why he did a hip check, don't you?
Why is that?
Because the guard's not coming off his shoulder. He's going out wide. Those bigs just automatically move that way.
Yeah, so you're blaming the ball handler. Okay.
I am.
All right.
Got to blame somebody. Left-hand shot, and, oh, boy, I tell you what, the touch on that one by Skipper almost went in. Now, I was never a big, so I don't know what that means, but I do know that as a coach, as Torres with the left hand good, we always told our guards, make sure you come off that shoulder because our bigs are not going to stand there. They're going to automatically,
totally.
It's like a magnet. 38-36 Olivet. Schenker after that big 3 from half court. Here's a 3 at the top, and it is good. There is Skipper again.
We saw that in the first half and talked about how it's virtually unguardable when you execute a screen roll the way they're doing it with that big who just pops. I mean, what are you supposed to do there? It's pick your poison.
So now it's a 5-point lead for the Comets. Gentile getting the start in the second half. Ball on the floor, turnover. Richardson with the steal, 2-on-2 break, and then trailing the layup good by Kretschmann. And Rose-Hulman needs a timeout. See if this will be a full or a 30. We wait and see if it's going to be a 30. It will be a 30. Want to remind you that today's game is brought to you in part by Officially Human. Their mission is to restore respect for game officials and recognize them as authorities on the field and the court. Do your part, practice good sportsmanship. No officials, no games. So not a good start for Rose-Hulman coming out of the halftime.
That was exactly what they didn't want. And, of course, the longer that Olivet is not only in this game but also potentially leading by, they're almost to double digits at this stage. The more nervous you have to feel if you are Rose-Hulman about losing this one. It doesn't mean that much in the scope of the season. It's not a conference game or anything like that. It's momentum. It's psychology. You don't want to lose this game right before the break.
Always talk about, too, it's how you finish a half, how you start a half or a quarter, whichever you prefer, because a lot of times you can't necessarily put a team away at the beginning of a half or the end of a half, but you sure feel a lot better when you come out of that timeout, too. It's all about momentum.
And this is where I think you start to see some of Sam Hargrave's coaching ability. He's kind of making them pay for the weaknesses that they're exposing in this game that they wouldn't typically have, this Rose team.
Here's Olivet team. They've played 2 teams out of the HCAC. They lose to Franklin 85-74. They lose to Anderson by 2. And then they played a Division I team earlier. They lose to Central Michigan by 20, 85-65. So they've had a pretty tough schedule early.
I thought they beat Anderson.
Did they beat Anderson?
Yeah.
Check that when you get a chance, just in case my notes are wrong. There's another turnover, and then they'll get it right back. Schmitz, Gentili. So back-to-back turnovers. That's Torres, guarded there by Hardy. Torres. Now we'll find Smith. Gentili in the corner. Misses the three, and the rebound ripped away by Kretschmann. So they did beat them 77-75.
Beat them by 2, yeah.
Okay. And a foul underneath, and that'll put Schenker at the line.
Anderson, of course, has had so much success in recent years. They do seem to be down a little bit this season.
See, that's why we pay guys like you the way we do, because you have that information readily available.
I may or may not also have a degree from the Ravens. So
that's true.
a slight alternative motive to pay attention to the basketball program.
I forgot all about that. We have 2 Anderson grads, which will be a grad coming up soon, on our staff now.
Yes, we do have another one, and he does some broadcasting for them.
He does.
Our camera guy today.
Giving us our floor shots, 44-36, 8-point lead. McElhaney on the spin. Trying to find some room underneath. Foul call against Hardy. Hardy says, you know what, I was straight up and down. That's always a tough call as an official. I know you've officiated basketball too, as whether the guy actually keeps his hand straight up or he comes down just a little. Only has to be a little.
Are you working games this season, Troy?
I am not working any games this year. I've decided to move on to bigger things. I don't know what that is, but I'm moving on to bigger things. I'm getting tired of getting yelled at all the time.
Some of the language that I remember us using, too, was just about, like, who initiated the contact.
Exactly. Numbers the other way. 4-on-1 break and a light dunk there by Okello. Boy, Rose-Hulman better get back on defense quicker. Okello now with 6 unofficial. He averages just 3 per game. McElhaney at the high post. Spins, right hand, wasn't even looking and able to get the bucket.
Nicely done, good footwork.
6 now for Will McElhaney. Richardson against Nate Smith. 2 really quick guards out front. High-low underneath. Left hand good. Boy, they went big inside to Hardy. Hardy has 8. Rose could use a little run here as we're going to see Connor Skipper come back in. Torres in the corner. 3 on the way, good. Gentili, his 4th 3 of the ball game, and we have a TV timeout. Olivet leads it by 5.
I'm Barry Schneider. I'm the president and chief operating officer of Steel Dynamics Incorporated. Steel Dynamics is the largest recycling company in the United States. Faculty here is here to teach. You're not a bother, you're a purpose, but you can't be shy about asking. That's where you figure out I can only be better if I'm willing to accept the help and ask for it. Year in, year out, the caliber of graduates that comes out of Rose-Hulman stands above, because this is a challenging environment. But it's a challenging environment that's designed to help us be successful. And that, again, is the small school approach where the faculty is committed to your education. You are the purpose. The school's here. Rose-Hulman is and will always be a special place for me because of the people that I've shared the experience of being here with. Together, we are stronger.
College basketball brought to you in part by Family Source Insurance. Pat Cherry is your independent agent, proudly representing Ohio Mutual Insurance. If you'd like more information, give him a call, 317-894-7000. So it will be Olivet basketball leading it by 5. That big bucket by Evan Gentili. When they love to have Gentile coming off the bench, gives them some instant offense. Press broken again. And then it's stripped away. Torres takes it away from Skipper. Rose-Hulman quickly the other way. McElhaney losing it in the lane. Nice pass underneath. Torres, reverse layup, no. Back the other way we go. 3 on the way is good. Shanker gets another one. He has 4. Hit that big one at the end of the first half. 13 points now by Shanker and a foul call. And Shanker, I believe, just picked up number 1. Let's wait and see what the official scoreboard says. 1. Shanker, just a freshman, averaging at 9.8 points per game. 7-point lead now for Olivet. McElhaney looking underneath to Torres. McElhaney drives. Tried to bounce it down low to Torres. It'll go out of bounds. Last touched. Looked like Okello got a leg on it. Olivet gets a win here today. It'll be their 3rd win of the season, and more importantly, going into the break with a nice road win. Schmitz pulls up baseline, got it. 8 now for Schmitz. Lead down to 5. Kolakovic back in. That is Kolakovic down on the baseline. Pull-up shot, nothing but net the other way. Kretschmann now with 4. And we're trading baskets here in the early stages of the second half. Schmitz, 3 on the way, good. That's his first 3.
And getting him going would be a very good thing for Rose-Hulman.
Lead is at 4. More changes coming. And looks like we may have a timeout. They're actually going to get a foul instead, or did they call just a timeout? I think it'll be just a timeout. It'll be a full timeout. 52-48 Olivet.
Rose allowed me to have a good foundation as an engineer. Like, you enjoy solving those problems. There are 500 different directions that we could go, and only one is likely the right one that's going to work. Figuring out why it works or why it could work, what could break, like really thinking 5 steps ahead. That's what Rose teaches you to do. It's not a factory of like just trying to get people out the door and getting them their degrees. Like, they genuinely care about each individual student. They want you to walk away feeling like you got out of it what you wanted. That's what sets Rose-Hulman apart. Together, we are Rose-Hulman.
Back at Rose-Hulman following the timeout, a foul call against Murphy with Hardy backing Murphy down. Murphy picked up number 2. The shot clock reset at 20. Richardson shot fake, double teamed on the baseline. Almost a strip away there by Gentile. Richardson again, strong drive, feeds inside, layup good as Okello now with 8. Lead back to 6. No zone trap here by Olivet. 3 on the way, no good. Murphy saves it from going out of bounds off the missed shot. Again by Schmitz. Back the other way, basket good. Richardson showing his athleticism.
Olivet's getting most of what they want right now. Point out a stat for you. Okello, 4 for 5. Skipper, 4 for 10. Hardy, 4 for 7. The bigs, 12 for 22 in this game. The height is making a huge difference. We talked about that beforehand.
Yeah, no doubt about that. As Schmitz hits the 3, and a much-needed 3 there, pulls Rose-Hulman to within 5. That's Okello. A little sloppy on the possession here. 15 on the shot clock. Schenker throws it away. Back the other way. The drive down the lane. The feed to McElhaney. Contact. Basket good. No foul. And McElhaney on the board once again has 6 in the second half. 8 overall. And all of a sudden the lead down to 3.
Schmitz gets the assist there. He's been a huge part of this run.
Okello against McElhaney. The kick out to Schenker for 3, and he hits another one. That is number 5, I believe. Lead is back to 6. Olivet will come with 3 new players. We'll see 2 now for Rose-Hulman. They reverse it. Wide open is Smith, and he nails it.
Schenker, by the way, 4 for 4 from three-point land.
Boy, this doesn't look anything like what we had early in the first half. Richardson drives. The 3 on the way. No good as Hardy can't get it to go. So they are one and done. Back the other way. Smith on the drive. McElhaney feeds inside to Murphy. Murphy try to get room inside. Left hand. Count it. And it's a 1-point game. 4 new players will come in now for Olivet. Good look at Kreshman. Looking inside, but nothing there. Gentili with a takeaway. Gentili one-on-one, blocked shot by Schenker. And now Olivet quickly back the other way. Schenker thought he was fouled. As you see Okello get it back to Schenker, and that 3 counted again.
5 for 5.
Wow. That was pretty good defense, too, by Gentili. Back to a 4-point lead. That is Schmitz. McElhaney on the high post. Leans in, can't get it to go, and it goes out of bounds. It'll stay here. Now 5 new players coming in for Olivet. We'll have a timeout on the floor. Olivet leads it by 4. Today's game brought to you in part by Aspen Creek Grill. If you're looking for fresh, amazing food and servers who truly care about your experience, make sure you check out Aspen Creek Grill. And want to thank Wheeler Mission. For over 131 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community. If you'd like more information on what Wheeler Mission provides, give them a call, 317-686-6239. Pine Engineers inbound. Savovich re-entered the lineup. Torres able to dribble away from the double team. 3 on the shot clock. Torres back to Savovich, and I think he got it off. Nope, they're going to say he did not. Far side official said the ball was still in his hands when the shot clock went off.
We keep calling Schenker's name for Olivet. He's off the floor now. He's 5 for 5 in the game from 3. He's a 32% three-point shooter on the year, which is okay, but it's certainly not 5 for 5, so we're seeing sort of an unusually high percentage clip from him.
Almost a takeaway Kachalka's back in now. Jackson got the start today. We are nearing the halfway point of this second half. Back in the game is Howard. On the roll. Big guy inside, and missing it is Skipper. And I'm not sure at 6'10" how you missed that. And then falling out of bounds, Skipper tried to make the save. Can't do it.
You saw how athletic he was, though. He was willing to get on the floor, and he had the presence of mind to try to throw it off of his opponent. I think his leg was on the sideline when he did that.
So now Rose-Hulman basketball. Savovich been quiet today offensively, and a block. Nope, they're going to call a foul against Skipper, as that'll put Christian Torres at the line.
Savovich leads the team in assists, but I would have thought that was a good opportunity for him to try to find his own shot. It works out in the end.
Watching that replay right there, looked like Skipper took a shot off the chin there as Torres went up for that shot. Free throw missed. Okello coming in, and Skipper will sit down.
Helps to have 3 of them, too, so they're always fresh.
That's a good luxury, isn't it? Second free throw is no good, so 2 big misses. Howard running it down in the corner, gets trapped. 2 players collide for Olivet. They turn it over, and then the bucket good by Christian Torres.
Great pass.
Always a dangerous play when you try to make that cross-court pass as Howard drives in. Basket good and a foul. Howard making up for that turnover moments ago. Savovich picks up the foul. By the way, Daniel has only scored 2 today, did not start today, averages 11.3 points per game. Saw the replay right there of Howard, and he missed the free throw. Boy, in close games, you've got to hit those free throws. Lead back to 4. Schmitz against Howard. It'll be Savovich. Torres on the drive. Torres off the glass. Foul call against Okello. Well, that's the kind of athleticism we have seen in Christian Torres, the length he has. 4 new bodies coming in for Olivet. Certainly with the 2 starters out today for Rose-Hulman, Olivet a little bit deeper on their bench. Nate Smith coming back in, and Daniel Savovich will sit down. We'll go to the line with Christian Torres.
Torres is listed at 6'6", certainly a big presence is welcome for Rose-Hulman. He's got 11. He has struggled from the free throw line, although he hits that one. Makes him 4 for 7 in the game from the line.
1-point lead. Pressure again. Quickly running the floor at the other end. Give the assist to Skipper. Okello with the bucket.
And again, you see the many things that Skipper can do on this court. Very quickly gets rid of that ball right to the open guy.
Torres from 15. Got the roll. Nice soft touch. Back to a 1-point lead. That is Richardson. They leave him open. He shoots and misses. Okello with a rebound. Okello falls to the floor, gets it outside to Skipper, and he hits a 3 straight away. That is nice to see when you can bring the stretch 5 out and can hit the 3 the way he does. Back to a 4-point lead.
He's got 6 assists also in this game.
Torres, shot fake drive, spin, right hand good. Well, they can't stop him right now. Under 8 minutes now in this one. That is Nate Richardson against Smith. They look high-low. They're trying to get it inside to Hardy. Here's Hardy once again. Right-hand shot short. Good defense by Murphy. Here's Smith to Torres. Layup good. And Torres will go to the line as he is fouled.
Torres gets the numbers on the stat sheet, but that was all Nate Smith. Really good look.
Timeout on the floor. We're tied at 69. College basketball on RHIT.TV, brought to you by LifeWise Academy. LifeWise program supports educators and communities by improving student outcomes. With LifeWise Academy, your community can bring biblical values back into the classroom. Give them a call at 614-367-5767. And right now, Christian Torres is taking this team on his back, and a chance now to give them the lead.
I'm going to give some credit to the point guard involved in that play. We've talked about Nate Smith in this game, and he is 5 for 5 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3. He's got 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. He's doing about everything right. He only has 1 turnover.
Exactly what you need out of your point guard, and get the start today as Richardson drives baseline. Richardson has his shot blocked. Murphy got a piece of it. Murphy on the floor. It'll be a turnover once again by Olivet.
That's Rose-Hulman basketball right there. You get the blocked shot, you get the guy on the floor, make the right pass.
In the corner, Gentili. Torres again, he's feeling it. Missed that one. Ball loose on the sideline. 2-on-1 break back the other way. The drive, the feed. Richardson give the assist to Shanker. They have run the floor well here today. Speaking of Olivet, back now to a 2-point lead. Gentili will find Torres. Shot fake drive off the glass, long by Schmitz. Olivet in transition the other way. They'll set it up in the half court. Here's a 3 off the back of the iron by Shanker. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Rose-Hulman. Skipper back in. They will put Hardy on the bench. Hardy still with 8 points. And they'll go to Skipper right away. Has a size advantage, left it way short. And another one goes out of bounds, this time Murphy touching it last. Got to grab that ball. .6:16 remaining here in the second half. And a foul from behind. They're going to get Nate Smith. One thing about it, if you're a player like Skipper and you get that ball in bounds, you got to hold that thing up high. You see too many bigs bring that ball down around, and those guards a lot of times will come around and pick your pocket. Luckily that time for Skipper it was a foul. Okello inside, won't miss this one. 12 now by Okello, and the lead back to 4. As we're coming up now past the 6-minute mark. McElhaney's re-entered the ball game, spins in the lane, and a foul call. And right now, Coach Hargraves not happy. He thought that was all block.
Well, I think he's going to see on the film that was definitely a foul. Something that the ref that called that saw, which he had a pretty good look at it, much like we did. And his guy, Skipper, just kind of reached out and grabbed him from behind.
By the way, Skipper fouls out of this game. So they lose their 3-point threat. And we will go to the free throw line as McElhaney. Well, they've missed some key free throws.
Not a very good exchange over there on the sideline for Hargraves and
no, it is
Skipper.
Not.
He just sent him into the locker room.
He did. Uh-oh, that's not good. That is not good between Hargraves and Skipper at all. And it is getting physical. Skipper might have to get a ride back home if you don't make it back to Michigan. You don't see that very often. He was not happy. In fact, they weren't happy with each other at all. Richardson on the drive, and a foul call will put Richardson at the line for 2.
I think Hargraves is now sending a guy who's on crutches to go get him again and bring him back out here. It's a very bizarre sequence to watch.
Boy, no kidding. Well, I'm pretty sure Coach Hargraves, the way he's talking to his bench is he's telling them you got to think. And I don't know how that exchange worked out between him and Skipper, but he probably felt Skipper needed to stay in the ball game for sure. So now they're going to have to play without him, but again, that was a very heated exchange. Second free throw missed. Both teams have missed some big free throws. Still a 5-point lead. That is Gentile guarded by Richardson. Torres has had the hot hand, drives and scores.
Torres' previous high for the season in points was 17. That was against Anderson. He's now at 20.
Well, he has been, again, the go-to guy. The lob pass, Torres able to knock it out of bounds, and he's doing it on the defensive side. I think he wanted them to look at a replay. And they will not challenge that call, so the Comets will inbound. That is Lee Hardy. Hardy traveled.
Yeah, he did.
It's a good defense that time by McElhaney. He just kind of backed up on him. I don't think that, at least I can tell, that Skipper's coming back in. I don't care who went and tried to get him. Well, in the heat of the battle, sometimes that does happen. 5 minutes remaining. Still a 3-point lead. Schmitz off the high screen. Will drive, got trapped, and turned it over. Now, you talked about that a play earlier where Schmitz got himself down the lane and really didn't know what to do with the ball at the time. We kind of saw it right there, too. Under 5.
He is, probably a shooter first and probably being asked to do a little bit more than he might be comfortable doing.
Nice pass underneath. Hardy give the assist to Okello.
Yeah, it looked like a shot, but it was definitely a pass.
Yeah, they love doing that high-low.
Yep.
You can do that when you got guys that are 6'8", 6'10". Gentile gives up the basketball. Torres splitting 2 defenders. Here's Gentile. Quick release and the 3. Back to a 2-point lead. Coming up on 4 minutes remaining.
I think Coach Sales found the right lineup for Rose-Hulman. We'll see if it was too late or not.
Richardson looking inside. He will find Kretschmann. He misses the shot, and the tip out off the fingertips of Richardson. And we're at our TV timeout, 76-74, Olivet.
At Rose-Hulman, our goal is to give our students the world's best STEM education in an environment of individual attention and support, all while achieving over 98% job placement after graduation. Your first year at Rose is all about building community. During your time at Rose, you'll be collaborating with other students in a diverse array of clubs, intramurals, and out in the community. You might be in the 40% of students that play a sport, or the third that are involved in fraternities and sororities. Over 90% of all Rose-Hulman students have at least one internship, co-op or research opportunity, or study abroad by the start of their senior year. Your degree in STEM means you won't be stuck on one path, though. STEM is all about creative problem solving, and Rose-Hulman is a place where creative minds thrive. The skills you learn here will help you reach your career goals and will grow with you as a person for the rest of your life.
College basketball on RHIT.TV, brought to you in part by Morales Group Staffing. We're in business to create a better future for you, your family, and the community we share. Whether you're looking for the right career or the perfect candidate, we're here to help. Give them a call, 317-472-7600. 3:54 remaining. Is a 2-point lead for Olivet. By the way, in case you're curious, Connor Skipper is back out on the bench, and his head coach down talking to him, and I'm sure everything will be just fine. Smith, good ball movement to McElhaney. The drive down the lane, Gentili almost lost it. The drive, the kick, Torres once again in the corner. Schmitz for three, no. A lot of good ball movement, unfortunately couldn't finish it off. Big possession right here now for Olivet. Richardson, the high screen by Okello. That is Okello. They'd love him to shoot it from out there, and he will not. Schenker, the screen. 6 on the shot clock. Schenker trying to find an opening, launches the three, can't get it to go. Rebound put back inside, no. Another offensive rebound. And the put back one more time by Kirchman, and he'll go to the line. That is 2 big offensive rebounds by the Comets. And now we'll head to the free throw line.
He couldn't finish there. He looked like he wasn't quite sure if he wanted to dish it back out and start the possession over. He ultimately decides to just go up himself, which I liked that decision. Just couldn't finish, and then he missed the first free throw.
And back to what I said a little bit ago, both teams have missed some big free throws. See Kretschmann right there in that double team. He'll hit the second of 2.
To your point about missed free throws, 9 for 16 from Rose-Hulman and 2 for 5 for Olivet.
Gentili in the corner, good for 3. Ian McElhaney coming off the bench once again, providing offense here today, tied at 77. 2.5 to go. Richardson. Okello making his move against McElhaney. Powers his way in and scores. That's just a big body to try to stop that close to the basket. 79-77.
When we watched the first 5 minutes of this game, I don't think we expected this exciting of a finish.
McElhaney takes the pass from Torres. McElhaney able to get it up and good. Good job by McElhaney and body control in the paint. Under 2. Richardson gets the high screen. Hardy providing that service out front, and I believe we may get ourselves a timeout by Olivet. And we wait and see if it'll be a 30 or a full. All indications are right now it will be a 30-second timeout.
I thought Okello was a little bit passive there defensively, and he does have 3 fouls, which I think is what was going on. He wasn't trying to pick up his 4th. But Rose-Hulman benefits there from the foul trouble on Olivet's part.
We'll see what, with 19 seconds remaining on the shot clock, what will be set up here for Olivet. This is a big possession. Want to get that lead back. They kind of forced the last shot. The shot clock was beginning to run down. Again, they're playing without Connor Skipper, who fouled out moments ago. So they're playing now with Hardy and Okello. Still, 6'8" and 6'7" down underneath. I think Jack Murphy's played pretty well. Talking about McElhaney a little bit ago. He has come out of the ball game. Richardson double teamed on the sideline. Straight away, drive in the lane. Shot no good. Okello with a rebound off the miss by Hardy.
Yeah, a lot of Division III programs would love to have one of those guys. This team has 3 of them.
81-79. Under 90 seconds remaining. Gentili on the drive. Basket good, and he's fouled. How about Evan Gentili? Gentili, by the way, listed at 6'2", and he's in there against some big fellas.
6 for 11 from 3 in the game, 7 for 13 total. He's got 21.
And a big free throw as well. 82-81, Rose-Hulman as we come up on 1 minute remaining. Nate Richardson against Smith. Screen by Okello. 16 on the shot clock. Kretschmann kicks inside, back to Richardson. Here's Okello once again, the double team. Richardson feeds inside, turnover. And then a foul the other way by Richardson. Big turnover by the Comets.
Talked a few moments ago about Torres's highest point production of the season in this one. It's also Gentili's highest of the season. His previous was 16 against Manchester. And again, at this stage, he is leading Rose-Hulman in scoring with 22.
At the line, Nate Smith missed the front end of the 1-and-1, so stays a 1-point lead. There's a difference of 20 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock, so Rose should get it back. Good look here at Okello. Drives in, basket good, I believe. Nope, they're going to wave it off. Good news there. Foul will be called against Torres, who thought he got hooked on the play. And we'll go to the line. Big free throws here by Okello. This is his first trip to the free throw line today. But again, both teams have missed some critical free throws here in the second half. And there's another one. The tip out. Good job by Kretschmann to get a hand on that one. Now 10 seconds between the game clock and the shot clock. Richardson driving down the lane. Scoop shot, no good. Rebound Torres. Foul in the backcourt by Okello.
Did everything but finish, did Richardson. And I tell you what, if Rose-Hulman gets out of here with a win, they will have stolen this one, and they'll be very happy about it for the next week and a half, because in a lot of ways they've been outplayed in this one.
Well, now Coach Hargraves saying something to the official. I think that was the 5th foul on Okello. At least that is what the board is showing. I thought that foul was actually on Nate Richardson. But it looks like it will be Okello as he is going to come out of the ball game. Sam Howard checking in. Well, Richardson's out. He might have a cut on his head too, so it looks like they're working on him with the trainer.
And actually I think that's what Coach was saying to the official, was that Richardson got fouled. And his evidence of that being the mark on his head.
So Okello coming out. Lee Hardy is back in. And again, big free throws here by Christian Torres. And he's missed 3 free throws, if I'm not mistaken, here in the second half.
4.
He's missed 4. So even worse. Not this time. 83-82, or I should say 81, so it's a 2-point lead with 21.2 remaining. Still a chance here for Olivet if they can get a good look at a 3. Second one is missed, and in there is Torres, and a foul call against Olivet. Howard a little nonchalant on the rebound, didn't see Torres coming.
But also just great hustle and awareness by Torres to even get down there and put himself in a position to make a play.
Okay, you see the replay right there, and then the reach in by Howard. So now if he hits this one, it's a 2-possession game with 18.9 remaining. And it is. Going to have to hurry. You need 2. Schenker, deep 3 is no good. That's an air ball. Howard saves it, and then it's tipped into the hands of Schmitz. Lead pass intended that time for Nate Smith. Probably should have held on to it, but 5.1 remaining. Your hope now is that somehow, and I'm assuming that ball was off still Rose-Hulman, right? They didn't reverse anything?
No, it's going to be Olivet's ball. And I think you want to create some sort of scenario where the possibility of bodies crashing into each other as someone is chucking a three-pointer, that's your best shot.
Yeah, and make it a 4-point play.
Yep.
Yeah, stay another look at the pass here by Schmitz. I would rather have seen him just hold on to the basketball and take the foul right there.
Right, yes. Because you don't, what does that, let's say you get a layup there, what does that do?
Yeah, and again, he's a good free throw shooter. I'd go ahead and let him take it out for you. So Olivet, if they have a miracle in them, if you're Rose-Hulman, I don't care if they shoot a 3 because it does nothing.
And that's enough time to do some significant dribbling here.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have to just rely fully on a full length of the court pass or anything like that.
But I don't even come close to anybody when he shoots it. Schenker at the buzzer, can't get it to go, and the Fighting Engineers hold off Olivet 85-81 without 2 of their starters here today. But I'll tell you what, Torres playing well, Gentili playing well, McElhaney playing well today, and
Smith playing well.
Smith playing
quietly. Well. And a lot of that, it didn't look pretty initially. At first in the game, you're kind of like, man, you can really tell that Rose-Hulman has kind of a second unit out there. But, the farther they got into the game, the more confident they were in the group of players that they had on the floor, and just really finished well.
Final score 85-81. We'll be back in a moment here on RHIT.TV.
Nanotechnology is in so many different facets of our lives that we don't even realize. So the easy thing is smartphones, nanoscale chips that are in the smartphones. Something else you don't think about are the sensors in all of our cameras. Those sensors that give us the pretty pictures are made by nano engineers. Glitter, it's everywhere, right? Parents' worst nightmare. It's actually a highly designed structure of thin films that they create to have a certain effect. And so that's why you have a single colored glitter, you have a color shift glitter. That's nano engineering.
My first role model was definitely my dad, because he was an engineering major.
My mother's in this field, so it kind of got me interested in it.
The fun is actually learning it, getting through all these experiences, having to go around that you can celebrate things with. That makes it very different.
This school changed my life. remind you that the Stone Age did not end because of a lack of stones. Every major advance in civilization is a result of innovation.
So Rose-Hulman coming up on 150 years. The feeling that I have is a sense of privilege to be a part of it.
I like to make things. That's something I really enjoy doing. Creation, problem solving. I tend to have ideas and think, okay, can I make that? And I give it a shot, whether the answer is yes or no.
There's just a lot of people who care a whole lot here on this campus.
I feel immense pride in that community, the place where students, staff, and faculty have the opportunity to look into the future and see themselves. Engineers are not in the business of predicting the future, we're in the business of creating the future.
And want to make it good, want to make it strong, and want to make it just as great as it can be for the next 150 years.
Each of you has an original story. Rose-Hulman has its own story too, in which you play a crucial part. Your time contributed to our 150th year history of innovation, entrepreneurship, and discovery. That has significantly helped us shape the world. Today, our stories continue into the future. And I know you'll all make us proud.
'85-81 the final as Rose-Hulman picks up a non-conference win here today. We will not hear from Coach Sales here today. I'm sure he's downstairs enjoying the win. Chris, your final thoughts after a well-balanced scoring attack, and some key players came up big today for the Fighting Engineers.
Well, for both teams, sometimes winning and losing is, a lot of mentality. It's the dynamics of your team. And, for most of the way, you felt really good about what Olivet did on the road, but they kind of fell apart at the end, with even, an incident that was kind of uncomfortable for us to watch and for the gym. Whereas Rose-Hulman had contributions from multiple guys that maybe aren't used to being in that spot. But it's just, again, it's kind of a culture of winning that you saw kind of take over in the final minutes of the game.
Leading the way, Christian Torres with 23. Evan Gentili had 22. Joey Schmitz 14. Will McElhaney, and he finished with 10. So we're kind of getting used to seeing those guys able to come off the bench and do what they had to do today without Studemeyer and Cole Pride. Now, Rose-Hulman with that win, they will set their sights now. Their next game will not take place until they take on Berea on Saturday, the 3rd of January. That'll be a women's and men's doubleheader. We'll have it for you here on RHIT.TV. Thanks to the entire crew, Chris. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, Troy.
We'll look forward to your present to me in the mail soon. 85-81, the final. Thanks for being with us. This has been Fighting Engineers Basketball on RHIT.TV.